Thank you, Mr. Saini. And last up for 3 minutes, Mr. Angus.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The question of the integrity of the electoral system here and around the world, to me, is sacrosanct. I'm looking at the pitch that SCL, AggregateIQ, made on the Trinidad Tobago deal, Mr. Massingham, and it was to gather the boasting of the ability to get de-anonymizing data, and that included emails. That would be illegal, would it not, Mr. Massingham?
In what context?
Being able to gather emails?
That would have been done through the party that tool would have been provided to.
Okay, so that was SCL working with AggregateIQ in Trinidad. In Nigeria, your friend company, SCL, working with you in Cambridge Analytica, was also involved with a rogue Israeli ops team that included gathering private medical records and emails. You would be aware, if you were involved in that would be illegal, right, Mr. Massingham?
I have no knowledge of that.
You have no knowledge of that. Because what Chris Wiley says is that people were getting very concerned. They were getting panicked phone calls. He said, my predecessor was found dead. One of my coworkers had a massive head injury and is missing part of his skull. People get hurt at this firm. Given that they work with the Israeli private intelligence firms, whatever you do, whatever you pay them, this is why so many people are genuinely afraid to come forward and talk about the firm, because it is that intimidating. Mr. Massingham, you're listed as the head of SCL Canada. Do you want to continue to tell us that you're not the head of SCL Canada?
Not the head of SCL Canada.
Okay. So, to the next step of questions of illegality is going back to Believe, which is on the same Google Drive as the Vote Leave, which £625,000 was transferred and spent in the final 6 days, which the British Parliament is investigating whether or not that was illegal. And yet, when you were spoken to this by Christopher Wiley, they said, and this is a verbatim quote, Jeff Sylvester saying it was, quote, totally illegal. He said, they found it amusing. That's you and your partner there. Because you have to remember, this is a company that has gone around the world and undermined democratic institutions in all kinds of countries. They could not care less as to what their work is compliant because they like to win. I put it to you that if you've been lying to our committee and that you can't even answer your relationship with SCL Canada, you should not be involved in any way in elections because of your total disrespect that we see at our committee here. You know, we may seem like a quaint little operation, but we represent the people of Canada. And Mr. Massingham, when we asked direct questions about how you could have had a phone directed to you as the head of SCL Canada, and you said you weren't aware of that, that just beggars belief. I can't see how anybody would give you a £625,000 campaign, let alone a £5 million campaign, if you didn't even know that you had a phone listing you as the head of another company. Don't you have anything to tell us, Mr. Massingham?